Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The President says that the country will be led towards rapid economic growth during this year. The Governor of the Central Bank says that the country's economy is leading to the right path at present. Renovation of a section of the Northern Railway track from Mahava to Anuradhapura will begin this Sunday. Train service from Mahava to Anuradhapura will be stopped for 6 months. The National Transport Commission says bus fares will stay unchanged despite fuel price rise. Early landslide warnings are issued to 10 district secretariats of 4 districts in the island. Foreign news, thousands are in shelters overnight after tsunami warnings. Sports, cricket, Sinet Jayawardena from Royal College appointed as National Under-19 captain for the forthcoming ICC Under-19 World Cup in South Africa. We move on to local news in detail now. President Ranil Wickremesinghe stressed that decisive actions would lead Sri Lanka to rapid economic growth this year. Despite facing criticism for the challenging decisions, he emphasized that they were undertaken in the best interest of the country. The President expressed his hope for unity in the year, urging collaboration among political parties to fulfill their collective responsibility in safeguarding the nation. These remarks were made during President Wickremesinghe's attendance at the opening ceremony of the new Air Force headquarters at the Akuregoda Battaramula military headquarters yesterday. President Ranil Wickremesinghe formally inaugurated the new Air Force headquarters by unveiling the commemorative plaque. Subsequently, he actively participated in the observation of the parade organized by the Air Force. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, says that the country's economy is leading to the right path at present. Foreign reserves in the bank network have become stable at present. The state revenue accounted for 11.2% of the gross domestic product in 2023, with projections indicating an anticipated increase to 15% by the year 2026. The successful maintenance of inflation within single digits has been pivotal in fostering business confidence, especially considering the significant reduction from 70% in 2022 to an anticipated 5% in 2024. The Central Bank Governor stated these remarks at an interview held with the Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation yesterday. He said that the general public of the country will be able to entertain the positive results of these developments in the future. Minister of Transport, Highways and Mass Media, Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, says that the renovation of the section of the Northern Railway track from Mahava to Anuradhapura will begin this Sunday. The minister added that this segment will be modernized at a cost of 3 billion rupees. The train from Mahava to Anuradhapura will have to be stopped to enable the repairs and the Sri Lanka Transport Board will deploy SLBC buses for 6 months for the convenience of passengers travelling from Colombo to Mahava and beyond to Anuradhapura or Jaffna. He said that the railway commuters will have to endure the inconvenience only for about 6 months. A special bus service will run from Colombo to Jaffna via Anuradhapura and from Mahava to Anuradhapura and Jaffna. The section of the Northern Railway track from Mahava to Omante, which has served for a long time in the history of our country, has not been renovated for a long time. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. We continue with more stories here at home. The National Transport Commission announced that the bus fares will stay grounded despite the fuel price rise. Chairman of the Commission, Shashi Velgama, further explained that the current fuel price increase is falling short of the threshold specified in the National Policy Formula for bus fare adjustments. Meanwhile, the annual bus fare revision should be announced on the 1st of July each year. 14,700 persons from 4,432 families in 7 districts of the island are suffering due to the inclement weather. The Disaster Management Centre is working on taking relief measures in collaboration with the relevant district secretariats. Meanwhile, the NBRO announces that early landslide warnings have been issued to 10 district secretariats of 4 districts in the island. It will be effective till 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. Director of Irrigation SPC Sugishwara said that 45 main reservoirs are at the spill level. The capacity of the total reservoir system has increased up to 90%. Victoria, Randanigala, Polgola and Madroe reservoirs also record a high water level. The Department of Irrigation requests the public to refrain from bathing in Pahala Kalawaya, Manikganga and Veheragala reservoir. That's local news for the moment.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has clarified that the elevated VAT rates will only apply to goods and items manufactured and released to the market from January 1st onwards. It has been emphasized that the price adjustments based on VAT for items released to the market prior to 2024 will not be applicable. An official who wished to remain anonymous said. The authority said that they are analyzing the market and would take action against the traders who arbitrarily increase the prices. The consumer items should be released to the market on the 1st of January with a printed VAT including prices.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala.
This is Watchlight.
With the dengue cases mounting, the epidemiology unit has identified 71 high-risk MOH areas where dengue breeding places have been found in abundance. The majority of these areas represent the Western Province, where 39,784 cases have been reported, the highest in terms of provinces. According to the Epidemiology Unit, as of December 31st, a total of 87,986 cases have been logged in 2023, with the highest number being from the Colombo district, which stood at 18,572. A total of 57 individuals have died of dengue in 2023. With the dengue cases mounting, the Epidemiology Unit has identified 71 high-risk MOH areas where dengue breeding places have been found in abundance.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines. Thousands are in shelters overnight after tsunami warnings. Putin vows to intensify attacks against Ukraine military targets. India launches space mission to study black holes. World news in detail. Thousands of people in Japan are spending the night in evacuation centers after a powerful earthquake. At least 4 people are feared dead. Kyodo news agency reports with the toll likely to rise in the coming days. Dozens of buildings have collapsed in several towns, trapping an unknown number of people beneath the rubble. The 7.6 magnitude quake struck at around 16:10 local time yesterday. Tsunami warnings were issued and later downgraded. About 60 tremors have been recorded following the initial quake. President Vladimir Putin has pledged to intensify attacks against Ukraine following days of aerial bombardment by both sides in the long-running war. Speaking during a visit to a military hospital in Moscow, Mr. Putin said the military would continue targeting Ukrainian military installations. He called on air raid on the Russian city of Belgorod by Ukraine, a deliberate strike against civilians. 25 people were killed in Saturday's attacks, local officials say. Finally, on World News, India's space agency has successfully launched a rocket that is carrying an observatory which will study astronomical objects like black holes. It was launched from Sriharikota spaceport today. This is the only second mission in the world of this nature after NASA launched one in 2021. The space agency said it wanted to help scientists improve their knowledge of black holes. That's on World News. Moving on to development news. Sri Lanka has just barely missed its 1.5 million tourist arrivals target set for 2023 despite seeing a record number of tourists visit Sri Lanka in December last year. According to the latest figures of the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, SLTDA, approximately 210,352 tourists arrived in December 2023, bringing the total number of tourist arrivals recorded within the last year to 1.4 million. That official figure is just 12,697 arrivals short of the government's target of 1.5 million visitors for 2023. However, the total figure of tourist arrivals recorded in 2023 is an increase of 106.6% compared to the 719,978 from the previous year.
Moving on with sports news.
In cricket, Sinet Jayawardene from Royal College has been appointed as National Under-19 captain for the forthcoming ICC Under-19 World Cup, which is scheduled to be held this month in South Africa. The junior selection committee headed by Ranjit Madrasinghe selected 15-member squad and 3 travel reserves for this World Cup. Richmond College skipper Malsha Tharupati once again named as deputy skipper of the national under-19 team, while Dinura Kalupahana, the Mahinda all-rounder, Dharmaraja College opener Pulindu Pereira are the key players of the squad. Asia Cup travel reserve player Sipun Vaduge is added to the original 15-member squad, while Dinuka Tennakon, who played for last Asia Cup game, was named as travel reserves with Manula Kularatna and Hiran Jayasundara, the wicket-keeper batter from St. Joseph's. The only international school player from Lyceum, Garuka Sanket, and the paceman, who was the most successful bowler of Asia Cup, is in the 15-member squad, which is to get approval from the sports minister.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
State Minister of Finance Shehan Semasinghe emphasized that the sustained single-digit inflation has significantly contributed to fostering business confidence within the country. The State Minister discloses that the state revenue accounted for 11.2% of the gross domestic product in 2023, with projections indicating an anticipated increase to 15% by the year 2026.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Sri Lanka Customs has made its highest revenue generation in history, a recorded 970 billion rupees last year, with only 990 staffers in hand and with restrictions on highest income on imports of automobiles still in place. The Customs spokesperson, Senior Director Sivali Arugoda, says that this was 109% of the amended revenue targets given to them by the Ministry of Finance, which was 893 billion rupees. The original revenue target set for the Sri Lanka Customs in the beginning of 2023 was at 1.2 billion rupees, but owing to the unstable economic situation prevailing in the country, the target was brought down to 893 million rupees.
Weather report.
Cloudy skies will prevail in most parts of the island. Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the eastern Nuva and southern provinces and in the Matale, Polonnaru and Nurali districts. A few showers are likely in the northern province and in the Anuradhapura district. Showers or thundershowers may occur at several places elsewhere of the island after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the eastern, over, western, Sabaragamu and southern provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western Sabaragamu and central provinces during the morning. That's the weather update. Moving on to the headlines before we wind up the bulletin of news. The President says that the country will be led towards rapid economic growth during this year. The Governor of the Central Bank says that the country's economy is leading to the right path at present. Renovation of the section of the Northern Railway track from Mahava to Anuradhapura will begin this Sunday. The train service from Mahava to Anuradhapura will be stopped for 6 months. The National Transport Commission says the bus fares will stay unchanged despite fuel price rise. Early landslide warnings are issued to 10 district secretariats of 4 districts in the island. Foreign news: thousands are in shelters overnight after tsunami warnings. Sports: cricket. Sinet Jayawardene from Royal College appointed as national Under-19 captain for the forthcoming ICC Under-19 World Cup in South Africa. With that we conclude the morning bulletin of news.